Hi everybody, it's Emma10, and you're probably thinking, why the hell am I in bed? Well, unfortunately I'm not feeling all that great right now. Yeah, I'm not feeling very well, but I thought today would be a good day to do this video, which is a ban list prediction, thoughts and opinions video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I've actually got a list here of all the cards that I've heard about via tournament reports, stories from friends and members of the KCP, and other videos that I have watched over YouTube and that. And this is just basically my thoughts and opinions on certain cards from meta decks and that, and also cards on the ban list that could come off and everything, so I hope you guys enjoy. Okay? Right, we'll start off. First card we're going to start off with is Reborn Tengu. Now this is a TCG exclusive, the OCG don't have this card at all. However, some people are saying that it may not be touched by the ban list because it's not available in the OCG yet. Some people saying that there could be an exception for this card, just because of its effect. No matter what you do with it, as soon as it's removed from the field, it summons another Tengu from the deck. Now, this is good for tributes, for synchroing, and for exceed summons. And at 3, it's really abusable. At 2, it slows it down. Limiting it would just be silly, in my opinion. And yes, before you start, those are my toes in the corner. Now, Reborn Tengu, I'm kind of thinking it probably won't get hit just because it's a TCG exclusive and not in the OCG yet. However, if it does get semied, that would be a great help. Next card is the Brionac. Now, this is semied at the moment, but it combos with so many cards very easily that it could very easily go down to 1, because you could, well, some examples that are also on the list are things like Dandelion, Formula Synchron, where is it? Lonefire Blossom. These are the main cards that I've seen and heard that it's comboed to use, because it brings them back and you can use them for tributes or anything, and these monsters still, I believe they still get their effects because you have to tribute them or something to activate their effects. So that means once they leave the field, they get their effects basically. Which in turn leads me on to Dandelion. Now Dandelion is a really abusable card. It's at 1 at the moment, but the rumour is it could possibly get banned. This would weaken plant decks or any decks that focus on using Dandy greatly, because it's used in Dandy Quick Draw, it's used in Reborn Tengu, it's used in plant decks, it's used in plant turbo decks. Any deck could utilise the power of this card, because as soon as it is sent to the graveyard, you get 2 tokens. Revive it without Debris Dragon, Synchro for Black Rose, blow up the field, and you get 2 tokens to do with as you please. You know, it's just a very abusable card and very easy, so possibly banned. If it stays limited, no great surprise, but it would mean that Konami would have to severely limit other cards that abuse its power, basically. Next card is Giant Trunade. It's limited at the moment. It could possibly get banned, and if that happens, we might get Heavy Storm back, or in worst case scenario, they both get banned and we get 3 Mystical Space Typhoon instead, which could be possible, but it's more likely we could get Heavy Storm back. The reason is, Giant Trunade sends cards back to the hand. It doesn't destroy them, so it gets around all the typical Stardust combos and that. It's still negatable by things like Dark Bribe, which isn't too bad, but it's enough to recycle your own cards, so you can abuse any cards that you had already on the field. And it sets up for OTKs and FTKs, which, as everybody knows, isn't a lot of fun really. Heavy Storm destroys cards on the field and is negatable by a lot of cards today. As I said, like the Stardust combo, Starlight Road, Stardust Dragon, Shooting Star, Shooting Quasar Dragon if it comes out, and again it's easily negatable by things like Dark Bride and that as well. So possibly banned, and we either get Heavy Storm back, or as I said, they both might be banned and we'll get 3 Mystical Space Typhoon instead, which may be highly possible, but we just have to wait and see. But a lot of people are hoping this card is banned. The next 2 cards are Dragons of the Ice Barrier. Now you're probably going to guess what I'm talking about. I'll start off with Trishula. Now Trishula has only been out here for a few months, and it's already made a big impact in the game. If you play it right, you can basically do an FTK or OTK with this card, just because it's like Mistworm, but it doesn't bounce cards, it removes them from play, so it gets around Stardust combos and that. And because it removes from play, it basically leaves a clear field for you to go through and attack with. It's a 27 attack monster, so it does significant damage. And people run it in 3s, so basically if you play 3 Trishulas, move from play 3 monsters on the field, after a quick succession, you can do a lot of damage in one turn. However, it depends on the timing of the card. It's best to play towards the end of the duel, because I can synchro into it very easily with some of the cards in my deck, and a lot of people can synchro into it very easily. Just have to wait and see. My prediction is it will either get semied or limited. I highly doubt banned, because it's made an impact, but it's not as devastating as Brionac or Giant Trunade, because it's only targeting 3 cards and not a whole bunch of them. Limited would be great, because I only want 1 myself. Semied, yeah, that's okay, don't mind. If it's untouched, I'd be very surprised, because, well, I wouldn't be too surprised actually, because Trishula is like Brionac. It's very, very hard to get right now. So either semied or limited. That's my prediction for it. And which leads me on to the little brother of Trishula, which is Brionac. It's limited at the moment, but a lot of people are guessing it could be banned, just because it's a level 6 synchro. It's easy to get into with a Debris and a Totem Dragon, or a Debris and 2 fluff tokens from the Dandelion, or even a Plague Spreader and a Reborn Tengu, or something along those lines. And when it's summoned, you can bounce any number of cards back to the field and keep doing that each turn. And basically, it's enough to clear the field to attack with any big powerful monsters you've got, essentially for game. So it's very possible it could get banned. If it does, the talk is Goyo Guardian could come back, because there's not very many level 6 monsters out now. I mean, if you count them all together, you've got Brionac, you have Goyo Guardian, Iron Chain Dragon, Flammable Euryclesis, and when the next card set comes out, Orient Dragon, which is basically like a selected Caius for synchros. Now, I don't use Brionac or Goyo Guardian, so it doesn't really bother me if they both get banned, or if one comes off the list and the other goes on, or whatever, because I use Iron Chain Dragon, and I probably might use Orient Dragon if it comes out as well. It doesn't really bother me, but my prediction at least is it will either stay limited, which means, again, like Dandelion, Konami would have to restrict a lot of other cards that abuse it, or more likely it will get banned, and we will possibly get Goyo Guardian back. If they both get banned, big surprise, but oh well, what can you do, it's Konami. Next card is Lonefire Blossom. This combos so well with Reborn Tengu decks, Debris Dragon and Dandelion and that, just because you could tribute Dandelion for its effect to summon your Titanial, and there you go, you've got tokens and that to use for Titanial's effect. Or it can be brought back with Debris Dragon, and then if you tribute itself, because it's left the field, it gets its effect back. That's semied at the moment. I think that would go back down to 2, and it would severely slow down, I guess, the plant decks and plant Tengu decks and plant turbo decks and that are out at the moment. So possibly Lonefire Blossom, possibly 1. The next 2 cards are used in nearly every meta deck: Solemn Warning and Pot of Duality. Solemn Warning is semied at the moment. It will either stay semied, or it could go down to 1, because in honest truth, paying 2000 life points to negate the summon or effects of summoning isn't that big of a cost, especially at how fast the game is. I mean, you're lucky to get 5 or 6 turns, less than 10 turns basically in a game nowadays. So it will either stay semied or it will go down to 1. The next card, Pot of Duality. This wasn't hit by the ban list last time, because it was very, very hard to get. I mean, it was ridiculously expensive when it first came out and ridiculously hard to get. I was very lucky to get a Pot of Duality in my booster pack, and 1 does enough for me because, simply put, it's very, very balanced. You know, you either pick 3 cards, you either look at your 3 cards and pick a card to add to your hand, or you special summon. You can't get around it, there's no loophole around Pot of Duality. It's a very, very balanced card. However, because it's coming out in tins, in the 2011 Wave 1 tins, it's going to be vastly available to more players who could run it at 2 or 3. If it does get hit by the ban list, I see possibly semied. Although I highly doubt it, because as I said, it's a balanced card. If it does get semied, fair enough. Limited, even more surprising. But I mean, it depends on the decks that run it and everything. So Pot of Duality will either not get touched because, as I said, it's a balanced card, or it will be semied. Simple as that. Next is Archlord Christia. This card is semied at the moment. However, it is very powerful in the fairy decks that are now being very dominant in the format, because it stops special summons, and when it's summoned you can add a fairy back to the hand. Now if you add like an Ancient Earth or something, you can set it up for Master Hyperion, or you could bring back your Honest to OTK that turn if you need to. Possibly could be semied. It's already semied, it possibly could be limited because it's that powerful. It's not widely available over here as it is in the OCG. However, because it is getting re-released in a tin, it's going to be more available, which means more people could easily use it, and it possibly might get hit by the ban list. Which in turn leads me to Agent Earth and Master Hyperion. Agent Earth lets you summon any agent from the deck, search out for any agent from the deck. So it's basically like a Sangan or a Elemental Hero Stratos. And it's been used in combos for agents to use for Master Hyperion's effect, which is another card. Agent Earth could possibly go down to 2, or even 1 like Elemental Hero Stratos, because it's very similar to that card. Master Hyperion is basically like somebody called it, it's like a light Dark Arm Dragon. You know, you can remove from play an agent monster to destroy a card on the field. So that could be semied or limited, because it's similar to that basically.